Yes, ma'am. And do you have mine? Okay, thank you.
So folks, just a reminder to our audience, we are live streaming this. So if you're kind of like background, so we're going to ask you to be quiet on set as we're doing this, pay real close attention to our presenters, and know that at any point in time, our MC, Bryce Lane, may ask you a question about what you think about this experience, okay? Emily, yours should be on.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. Good morning, everyone joining us online. Just as a reminder, we are live streaming on YouTube. The owl will pick you up when you make a sound. So do know that just because the camera's not pointing at you does not mean you're not on camera. All right, so today we have 13 educators competing in the EFNEP Recipe Challenge. This is an opportunity for the EFNEP educators to influence the recipes utilized in our programming in North Carolina. All recipes that meet 90% threshold outlined in the score sheet will be included in the Cooking with EFNEP cookbook and may be selected for feature in the EFNEP lessons. Educators were charged with taking an existing recipe or an original recipe and adapting it to follow the EFNEP recipe guidelines and the Mediterranean style of eating. EFNEP guidelines are sensitive to our audience by incorporating WIC-approved foods, being culturally diverse, and by being affordable and having readily available ingredients. Recipes will be judged following a short presentation to us this morning. Each educator will have 30 minutes of prep time beforehand. We ask that you hold your questions or comments during their presentation. Only judges will sample the recipes. Our judges are Dr. Carolyn Dunn. She is a professor and head of the Department of Agriculture and Human Sciences at NC State University. She provides program expertise and statewide leadership for nutrition and wellness for families and communities. She has 25 plus years of experience in nutrition education and develops nutrition education materials that are used across the country to help people eat smart and move more. She is a lifelong fitness advocate and enjoys walking, weight training, and yoga. She has a passion for cooking, food, travel, art, and design. Our next judge, Chef Brian, that's her last name, Adornato, or I lovingly call him Chef Brian, is a personal chef, food writer, culinary instructor, recipe developer, and restaurant consultant. Chef Brian currently owns and operates Love at First Bite, LLC. Brian is on the adjunct culinary faculty of Wake County Community College, where he teaches a variety of culinary courses for the continuing education department. Additionally, Brian teaches basic and advanced knife skills, grilling, parents and kids in the kitchen, and a variety of other cooking classes at Southern Seasons Cooking School in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Our next judge, Gisela Baker, is a recently retired family and consumer sciences agent and interim county extension director from Guilford County. She began her career with Cooperative Extension in 1986 in Craven County as a family and consumer science and 4-H agent with supervisory responsibilities for 2 EFNEP program associates. Gisela quickly fell in love with the program and its mission. Later, she transferred to Lenore County, where she continued as an EFNEP supervisor. Giesler and a colleague, Christine Smith, were the first FCS agents to develop a standardized training for new EFNEP staff. Their initial work helped to inform content for new EFNEP educator training that was ultimately used as a state standard. Throughout her career, Giesler served on multiple curriculum development teams. She has always been a strong supporter of EFNEP. And I am your host for today, Emily Foley. I am the Regional Nutrition Extension Associate in the central part of the state. I'm also an author on the adult curriculum and the Cooking with EFNEP cookbook. Our first competitor is Manny Espinoza. He will be telling us about Manny's famous ceviche. Speaking Manny's on TV right now.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Manny Espinoza. I'm from the Lee County office, and I'm here to prepare ceviche. So this is very nerve-wracking. I don't know why, but I'm very relaxed. If I fail, pick me up. So ceviche is an old Peruvian dish. It's very old. It used to be said back about 20, 30 years ago before the internet that the Spaniards made it in Peru, but now it's, that's not true. It's actually a Peruvian dish that they have bases up to 2,000 years ago. And they continue to find a lot of fish foods from the ancient Peru. The oldest ancient Peru right now is 5,000 years old, and they find fish geographics, and they didn't use as much fire, so it's assumed that they used lemon. So ceviche is based on fish and lemon. That's the basic. That's how you cook it. That's the process of the denaturalization for fish. It starts by marinating the fish for at least 30 minutes. And some in Peru, they do it up to an hour because the E. coli breakdown. So they do it up to 1 hour to kill the bacteria. Now the internet says it's almost 2 hours to kill the E. coli, but in Peru they use that. So we have the ingredients are about a pound of fish, about 8 to 10 lemons, according to the quantity and the thickness of the fish. Salt, pepper, chipotle, or chili pepper. Salt, pepper, onions, lettuce, cilantro, and they use these on the side. They use that on the side, right? So for the cooking purposes, I had to marinate the fish ahead of time. It's been marinated for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So in about 10 minutes, it's sort of safe to eat. Although I eat it after 15 minutes, and nothing has happened. So at this time, I am going to mix the onions because the onions can marinate within 5 minutes. To the dish. And it all depends on taste. Some people like the fish a little bit more raw, so they eat it almost immediately, or the onions a little bit more raw. Same thing with the cilantro. The cilantro can gives it a lot of flavor, and some people put it right from the beginning. I like it to put it at the very end, within 2 minutes of eating it. Keeps the smell, the aroma of the cilantro very stronger. So this it is almost ready to eat. So we're gonna put the cilantro, and it is the more cilantro you put, the stronger the cilantro. Some people like just a little bit. I like it very heavy. I will just put just a little bit for the tasting purposes. So we just wait for about 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes to start eating the ceviche. Ceviche is it has tons of varieties. I can't count many varieties. South Florida alone has over 120 Peruvian restaurants that concentrate on ceviche. They have the ceviche competition in South Florida. It's amazing. The good friends over there. But I've been cooking this for a long time. I love sea. I grew up on the beach. I grew up on a port. We use seafood for everything, and we have a mixed ceviche, octopus ceviche, shrimp ceviche. You have a whole variety of ceviches. Some of them that are the dangerous ceviches are the seashells, because the allergic reaction, and when you eat one, and they are not small, so you get a large dose of their exposure. So people when they go to South America, when they give it to the tourists, they give it one small piece and see if they have a reaction to that. But like I said, this is a very, very simple, high on vitamin A, high on vitamin C, high on protein because of fish, and very healthy. Some of the recipes called for roasted corn, big, thick teeth corns roasted, but involves a lot of oil. And that's the part I don't like. That's the part that I'm changing. Another thing is they marinate the fish for about an hour on cold water and a lot of salt to open up the pores of the fish. And I don't do that. I rather keep it just light, very light on salt. That's not a good trade product. So this is as healthy as I can make the ceviche. And you guys, and we use the lettuce because back in the days, and I still do that in my hometown, we serve it with lettuce over, and some people just have it with lettuce and they go out and eat it. And that is a weak green vegetable, but it's still good. One pound of usually flounder here will serve for 4 people.
Thank you, Nanny. At this time, I would like to invite the judges to ask any questions. Participants, you're welcome to ask questions if you have them.
Have you tried using the other kind of fish?
Yes, ma'am. The most popular fish is called corvina, which is sea bass, but down in Peru it's actually a lot greasier than flounder. and it has more calories. I prefer flounder after juicy, but like, besides it's easier to catch.
The flounder that you used, was this fresh?
No, it is from Food Life. I'm sorry.
So it's, it was frozen
No,
and
Yes.
thaw it well and,
the longer the fish, if it frozen, or
Right.
the easier for it to fall apart.
correct, right,
Yes,
right,
ma'am. So you wanted it the fresher the better.
right, okay, great. Smells wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you used lime as your acid?
Yes, ma'am. For this one was 10 limes, which
10
is
limes.
a little bit more than what I would use, but you won't get sick. So,
So what is your corn and potatoes there?
my corn and potatoes is something that we always put as a side
Oh,
to eat
it's a
it.
side,
Yeah,
okay.
it is a side, but it comes with it because some people it's too acidic as natural. So the sweetness and the corn kind of contacts the flavor of it, makes it more delicious.
I feel like I'm in Key West.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have you made this recipe with, the families you work with? With the,
No, because the fish issue, although it is cooked, it didn't naturalize,
right,
just like heating, but if they get sick, ooh, because they have it, they're not accustomed to that. But I do have some people who have tasted ceviche before from my classes, mainly in the Hispanic community.
Thank you, Manny.
Okay, audience, what do you think so far? How's it going? Wait, looks just like a TV show, doesn't it? Yeah. So what kinds of things would you be looking for if you were? I agree. And for me, it's just if it tastes good and it goes down, I'm good to go. Thanks so much.
Okay, our next competitors are Carol Pitts and Jessica. Their recipe is green eggs and ham. Good morning. Hello.
Hope everybody's doing good this morning. So I'm here to make green eggs and ham. I work with youth, and this is something that's really easy, whether it's for the kids to make or it's for the adults to make. Or so I normally make a dozen at a time. That way I can put them in the freezer and they're easy to grab out and go. So I'm going to start with sauteing and ham. saute and grab me some olive oil and pan. Also do 12 eggs, 1 egg for each muffin. So I've already got 5 eggs here done. So I have my kids, when they crack eggs, I have them crack it on the counter, not on the edge. They always want to crack it on the edge and it goes in the floor. So I have them crack it on the counter into a separate bowl. That way, if they do get some eggs in there, you can pour it, get that out, and then pour it all together. We'll just get our pan nice and slick. Wash my hands. Turn that on for me. We can get our veggie sauté.
We're going for about a medium heat, Carol?
Yes, ma'am. Just to cook the vegetables a little bit. Just let get cooked while they're in the oven, bacon also. So while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and finish my eggs, getting them all together. Like I said, I normally do a dozen at a time. And so do that, a little salt and pepper, or whatever you might like, garlic. That's only 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. So for the whole dozen, I would use 2 tablespoons. And we get that all nice and mixed up and ready to go.
Ready to go into our
Pan here in a minute. Warming up. Got our onions going. We'll get those. It's hard to get kids to eat vegetables, especially raw, like raw onions, things like that. So I like to saute some very sweet onions by Dahlia. Little mushroom. Mushrooms are so good for us. And then we've got our ham. Lean ham, give us a little bit of lean protein. And when you break that out over the whole amount, you're not getting very much. A couple little pieces in each one. I like to saute those for a couple of minutes. Get those nice and broke down. I always make sure that I wash my hands before and during and after while I'm preparing. Eggs are a great source of protein also. And easy to go, easy to grab and go. So when I prepare this, obviously we don't have enough time to do the whole thing. So I add in my spinach. I love to use baby spinach. Let it wilt down a little bit. So then I prepare it. I like to take it, normally it would be cooked a little bit more. Gotta do what we gotta do. I'll take and put that into each one of these. About 1/4 of a cup into all of those. Then we have 1/4 of a cup we add of our egg. And then I'd like to take another, just a little bit of our low-fat cheese in there. And then replace that. And I just kind of take and mix those up carefully. And they're ready to go in the oven. Once like I say, I'll do a whole dozen of these for the kids. And then we pop that into the oven for 22 minutes. And they come out very easy to put in a freezer bag. Thank you so much. We will take and put those in a freezer bag and pop them in the freezer. And then my kids can grab those out, pop them in the microwave for about 15 seconds. This wouldn't be very good at 15 minutes.
And so this morning, Carol, when we were talking about this as an alternative, how does this kind of compare to a lot of other grab and go?
Oh,
breakfast?
doesn't have all that sugar that our kids don't need to start the day. Much healthier choice. And you know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And they need something fast and easy. And as a mom, this is the best because I love to make these up at night or dinner sometimes, or even after school, the kids will grab one for a snack. But they're just real easy. I also teach my kids in 5th, 6th grade to make omelets at school, and now they can throw in anything for them to have. If whatever leftovers they might have, they can put into an omelet. So this is kind of the same idea. If they have some refried beans, they can throw these in there. Just to give them some other opportunities to try new foods, get some vegetables in, things like that.
Thank you, Carol. And Jessica, I invite the judges to taste the recipe and please ask any questions. We can also ask questions from the audience.
Is there an advantage for using the whipping cream instead of milk or water? Or any particular reason?
It is very low in sugar, and that is another reason for using heavy whipping cream. And you only need such a small amount, but it still gives it that little bit of fluffiness, since I'm only using 1 tablespoon for a half a dozen.
So how could you make this recipe more med-friendly?
I guess we could have used, we used olive oil to saute our vegetables. We could have added more vegetables, maybe left out the ham. It could have been salmon, definitely.
You get an A for that.
Chicken sausage.
Yeah.
Right? Turkey bacon.
Oh,
things like that.
Yes,
Or totally vegetarian.
totally.
All right.
vegetarian, that's what I'm saying. They're really good even with black beans.
I love the technique of doing these ahead of time and keeping them in the refrigerator. That's really great. And it gives your families an opportunity to make this recipe their own. And they can choose the meat or not, vegetables or whatever that they.
Type of cheese that they like, they don't eat low-fat mozzarella.
Could use egg substitute instead of whole egg.
Oh, definitely. I've used it for my girls for years. It's so delicious.
It's very adaptable. Like you said, the more people have on hand, they're gonna let it over.
And it's really easy, and it lets kids use some shopping skills.
Have you tried using anything like frozen vegetables? It always has to be fresh.
I think frozen vegetables would work great. We use a lot of these in our program. This year we did a pasta and vegetable cook at school with my 5th grade boys, and they loved it. But I could use easily some mixed vegetables. And I would still want to saute it beforehand just a little bit to get the heat on it, and so it wouldn't be so watery. So when you use frozen vegetables like frozen spinach, it tends to be real watery sometimes. So I want to get all that water out.
Add salsa for more.
Oh, definitely. I use jalapenos in mine. I'm a spicy girl, most of you know.
Carol, you mentioned that you can freeze them. How long can you freeze them?
Freeze them, I normally freeze them in a gallon bag for about 30 days. They don't ever last that long. But, normally I'll put the date on it and they're always in the trash, but, the bag's already gone. Or needing to wash that bag out and put some more in. But, yeah, about 30 days is how I would keep it, just because of the egg and everything.
Okay, thank you, Carol and Jessica. Sir, Dennis? Me? For the second. All right, everyone, so our next competitor, Sherry Bennett, her recipe is chicken thighs in lemon and Greek yogurt sauce.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sherry Bennett, and today we're going to talk a little bit about a recipe that is called chicken thighs in lemon and yogurt sauce. This recipe is a twist on the old chicken thighs and gravy. Okay, it is low in calories and low in fat. And if you give me a moment, I'm gonna wash my hands and I'm going to show you what the dish looks like. And I'm going to serve our judges. Now, as you all know, our working moms and dads don't have a whole lot of time in the kitchen. And we want something quick and nutritious. Okay, this is what the dish will look like when you cook it. Now, of course, depending on your oven and your pan, your chicken will be browner, or it could be light, like the one I'm serving today. And I'm told that is because of the type of pan that we're using, which is a non-stick. At home, I like to use a Dutch oven. Okay, now, as you notice, this chicken has some vegetables in it. We replaced the flour that we use in our gravy with some spinach and carrots. So, I'm going to serve our judges. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the recipe. Okay. So the ingredients that we use, we first want to start out with the lemon. And yesterday you learned a cool way to do your lemon, but I'm going to show you a different way. So we're just going to half the lemon, and we're going to take a fork, and we're going to stab it with the fork, and we're just going to go up and down, and squeeze. And as you can see, the juice is coming out. A lot of our EFNEP participants do not have the fancy equipment at home, and this is the way that they can save money. Of course, by adding the lemon to our recipe, we're also adding a great source of vitamin C. In one serving, there's 10% of your daily required vitamin C in this recipe. A lot of the ingredients in this recipe can be purchased with WIC. You can, of course, purchase your carrots, spinach, and garlic. Now, if you're running short on time, you can also use the powdered garlic. And we're using olive oil, which is very healthy, a healthier choice. And we use plain regular yogurt, and that will allow them to purchase on WIC. Okay. And we've added Parmesan cheese, which is kind of reminiscent of our mini meatloaves that have the cheese added into it. Okay, so at this time, are there any questions?
Do you marinate the chicken in the
Yes.
yogurt?
Yes. Okay, once you add your lemon, yogurt, Parmesan cheese, your garlic, a little salt, a little pepper, then you're gonna marinate for 10 minutes in the refrigerator. And then you're gonna bring it back out, pour all of the ingredients into the pan with the olive oil and fry. And then, whenever the chicken is done, you're just gonna toss in some spinach, carrots, or whatever vegetables you want. We found out through our EFNEP entry forms for the adults that a lot of our participants don't get a lot of orange vegetables, so the carrots is one way to add that in. Okay. Thank you.
At this time, I invite the judges to taste the recipe. I'll open the questions up to the judges again and the audience.
So how do you know when the chicken thighs are done?
Okay, we use a meat thermometer to check the chicken thigh, and when it measures 165, we know that they are done.
Excuse me, have you tried other meat besides chicken?
No, I haven't. I haven't tried. I would think
Such as turkey?
turkey, yes. I think that would be a great idea, Hazel. I would encourage you just to experiment. I know with one of the recipes that we do, chicken with those oven-baked chicken nuggets, I do that a lot with pork chops at home. So I would invite you to do the same with this recipe as well. Turkey is a healthy option. I love the chicken thighs because they are affordable. And the boneless, skinless, of course, you can achieve that effect at home, on your own if you buy the whole one, or you can buy them already prepared, and that cuts the fat. One serving of this recipe is only 155 calories. So it's a really healthier option.
So that one chicken thigh is the number that you're giving us for one,
Yes.
serving as one chicken
Yes,
thigh.
ma'am.
Have you tried the non-fat yogurt instead of the whole yogurt?
You can use the non-fat yogurt, or you can even, if you don't want to use the Greek, and then our participants, or you, if you're purchasing on WIC, you can actually get the regular plain yogurt with WIC. So. And yogurt, as you know, will give us that calcium that we need. So in this recipe, we're getting calcium, vitamin C, protein, and
What do you find the yogurt adds? Does it add the flavor? Is it the texture you're looking for? Or is it just for the nutrients?
okay, the yogurt adds all of that. It adds everything that you mentioned as well. In our traditional chicken thighs with gravy, you may use almost a cup or 2 cups of oil. The yogurt, when I use the whole yogurt, it also adds a little source of fat, but it's a healthier source. And it makes it easier to cook when you're frying it. So,
And it's not swimming in it either, it's just, I don't know how, you guys may not be able to see it, but it's just kind of coated. It's less than you would have a normal sauce or gravy, right? So you're not getting a ton of fat, really.
that's right. And even though it's not swimming in it, this dish goes nicely with the brown rice. Or even the potato.
Excuse me, did you, purchase, skinless chicken thighs, or did you have to skin them yourself?
Yes, for the purpose of time, we use the skinless this morning. Yes, ma'am.
And then, would you recommend just leaving them like they are as purchased, or, because sometimes you see that yellow fat?
Yes, I would recommend trimming the fat that you see, because that's what we're trying to do, eliminate some of the fat from our diet. So trimming the fat is perfectly fine if there's a little bit still on, because you're gonna have the olive oil, you're gonna have the yogurt.
What about a whole, a whole chicken like in the oven, would that work, you think, for our participants?
Now, I haven't tried that on a whole chicken in the oven, so I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna leave that challenge to you.
Okay, thank you, Sherry.
Have to do the
You want me to grab this one? I can grab it. Kind of see what you there. All right, that was the quickest 5 minutes. All right, our next competitor, Rhonda Church. Her recipe is easy peach buckle. And we can move however we need to.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
How's everybody doing today?
Well,
Hey, I'm Rhonda Church, and I'm bringing a recipe to EFNEP that's been passed down through generation after generation from my family. And they called it something else besides a peach buckle, and my aunt could not remember the name of it, but we're calling it peach buckle. A peach buckle is like a cobbler, but it's got a crumblier top, and there's no milk in the topping. So I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is. Of course, living in Eastern North Carolina all my life, we didn't grow up with whole grains a whole lot. So I changed the recipe to include whole grains to help boost the nutrition. And you can make it a lot of different ways. So I'm going to make the recipe that I feel like our participants might appreciate if they're trying to incorporate more whole grains in their diet slowly, because sometimes it takes a little bit of getting used to the whole grain taste. So I'm going to do it that way and show you the options. So first what I'm going to do is we're going to do a peach buckle, and you can use any fruit that you would like. So a peach buckle, I've used This is a WIC product, so it's in the pantries of a lot of our participants. These are sliced peaches in their own juice. And so I simply rinse off the top of the cans to get rid of any dirt. And I pop the lid, and unfortunately I don't have the peaches to do the recipe. So I'm gonna pretend that we have peaches. So anyway, I do have peaches in the taste. So I rinsed the top, and I simply just took the lid and just barely poured about half of the juice off of each can. And I was experimenting with the juice, and I made a little, one of the seltzer water and peach fizz. That was really good. So anyway, what I do is I just simply dump the peaches in a bowl. And if I were to make this in a casserole dish, I would not chop the fruit. I would leave it whole. But for time's sake, so this would cook in 25 minutes, I just chop the fruit just a little bit with a knife, or I just have one of those old-fashioned choppers that we have. And I place the fruit simply in the dish. And so then this is how you make the top. So a lot of times I like to lighten the flour up just a little bit, so I can do it. All right, so it's a third of a cup of all-purpose flour. And a third of a cup of whole flour. And a third of a cup of good oats. If I would make this at home, since I'm going to give you whole grains, I would knit the all-purpose flour and use all whole grain. But for this recipe, I'm going to show you that way. Okay, then I put in 1/2 a cup of sugar. So this was a cup of sugar in the family recipe. I reduced the sugar. And I simply put, you see, all the dry ingredients in the bowl. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I've measured salt before like this in the bowl. That's a mistake. 1.5 teaspoons. When I was taste testing this, all my fellow EFNEP folks said, it's cinnamon. And then 1/4 teaspoon is too much nutmeg. Now nutmeg with peaches are like American heaven. But in some of the fruits, I would not put the nutmeg, like perhaps some of the berries may not go well with nutmeg, so you kind of have to just taste it and see what you like. A lot of times I'll have blueberries in the freezer or the refrigerator that may be using. I simply throw it in with those peaches, and then you have berries on top, nutrition fat goes up again. I looked at this recipe, and it's an excellent source of vitamin A using these peaches like this. So I simply just mix it up with my grits. Make sure I have all my ingredients. I'm gonna do the nice egg method. I like the way EFNEP does, so the shells don't go everywhere. You just simply put it right in your drum. And then you have an egg. So salmonella may or may not be in that egg. I don't know. So I don't want to take that chance. So to prevent cross-contamination, it's always a good idea to rinse your hands when you handle an egg. Then I simply take a fork. And this is the process that people get confused on. So we just break the egg up. And I'm not making a wet, sticky mess. I am just making a crumble. So you can see it incorporates quickly. And sometimes I get 12 muffins out of this. Sometimes I get 10. Today I got 10. So then after that, you take your 1/4 of a cup, and I would simply, if I had my peaches, I would put 1/4 cup of peaches with the juice in every muffin tin. And I spray my muffin tin well. over the sink with a non-stick spray, don't want slippery floors. And then I simply take a fourth of a cup, and I'll pretend this one has peaches in it, and I will put this mixture on top of the fruit, just like this. So then, once I've done that, so just say I've done them all, I have 4 tablespoons of melted butter. So I put 1 teaspoon on each buckle, because there's 3 teaspoons and a tablespoon. So this would be exactly that. So you would just simply pour 1 teaspoon on each buckle. I have my oven preheated at 375 degrees, and in 25 minutes, you will have a peach buckle. I love apple. It's really delicious too. Serve.
Thank you, Rhonda. At this time, I invite the judges to taste the recipe. I open the floor for questions, first from the judges and then from the rest of the audience.
This is 3 portions, so it's.
So Rhonda, do you sometimes make that in like a 9 by 13?
It actually a 2-quart, so it's not quite a 9 by 13, about a 2-quart casserole dish, and it cooks in about 50 minutes. And actually, I like that better, but being we needed to cut time, I decided to put it in the milk container. But I see some families like to have things portioned out ahead of time, so this is. So I made this for a ESL group that I had, and all the Hispanic ladies were like, I want that recipe. I want that recipe. So they really did like this one.
Rhonda, how does it go over with children?
Well, they love it.
Okay.
Because they love the crunchy topping. It's usually better the day it's made, and it's usually better cooled a little bit. This is a little bit warm. It gets kind of sweeter as it cools for some reason.
Do you ever let them help you with it?
Oh, absolutely. They love to try to measure. They can crumble it on top. They make a mess. It's okay.
Have you ever added nuts to the top?
I have not done that. That's very interesting. Good.
Ice cream?
Yes, I have heard that one. Cool Whip.
So I appreciate you using canned peaches, something that our consumers have. You use some of the juice, which adds a lot of sugar because of the juice, and you still added a half cup of sugar to the dish. Have you tried to, and I know that that's still a compromise from your family's recipe. I grew up in the South, I know. We do. So have you experimented with taking the sugar down even further?
I did. I took it down to a third of a cup, and my family was like, wow, I can tell. So I really, I compromised myself, because I really was trying to get down a little bit more. I think some fruits you could, some sweeter fruits, apples, or something that had a lot of natural sugars in it. And you can use, seem like fruit that is unsweetened out of the freezer. It's even a little more challenging. I myself don't mind the tartness. Some like
Yeah, some of that is just getting used to it.
Yes.
Not as sweet.
Yes.
And what about the butter on top?
So the butter, I tried some oil, the olive oil. I tried olive oil. No, I tried regular oil. It was okay. It seemed like it needed just a little. So I kept doing the nutrition facts, and that teaspoon of butter didn't add a tremendous amount of saturated fat. So I think I'm going to grams of saturated fat. So I felt like the compromise was the taste. So this would be a treat, a more of a nutritional treat, and like my mom feel like a superstar for getting a dessert on the table.
Okay, thank you, Rhonda.
Now you're enjoying. Are you still enjoying?
Okay, our last recipe of session 1 is Renee Goodnight with healthy jicama salad.
Hey, everybody. So I'm your last one, so I hope I give you some interesting information that you haven't heard yet. Mine is a salad, so all my prep has been done prior to coming in here and been marinating. So I won't be doing any food prep for y'all, but what I'm gonna do is talk about what my ingredients are. So why did I choose jicama? I think that is an underrated vegetable. It's a root vegetable. It has a bean on it similar to lima bean, which is toxic. So you can only eat the root part. It's been called a Chinese turnip. It has several different names, but I've been introduced to it because of the fiber content. That's what's so interesting to me. It has a kind of fiber called inulin. And when we eat it, our gut cannot completely digest it. So it feeds the good bacteria in our gut. And the gut microbiome is getting a lot of attention these days. There's a lot of National Institute of Health studies. NC State hosted a gut microbiome conference in 2016, sorry. And I'm just really interested in that. There's studies relating to how it affects the autoimmune system, our brain function, Alzheimer's, digestion. So I like to introduce new foods and vegetables to different people, so that's why I chose jicama. So I wanted to make a very nutrient dense in the RDI for vitamin C. But it has a lot of water, it has the inulin that I mentioned. So I think you eat with your eyes, so I wanted something really pretty and bright. So I've got kale in there and red cabbage, which are both cruciferous vegetables, very nutrient dense, good fiber content. Kale is one of the healthiest foods in the world. So there's some of that in there. It's, the brassica or cruciferous vegetables have been linked with a reduced risk of cancer. And there's carrots in there, high vitamin A. There's oil and vinegar dressing, which the olive oil is my oil and my dressing, which is great for the Mediterranean diet. Pepitas are in here just to add that different texture, different crunch. And I roasted them. There's no fat or sugar or salt or anything on them. They're just raw and they're roasted, which adds a depth of flavor to them. Pepitas are very nutrient dense. They have a really high amount of manganese. And most people do not get the necessary amount of manganese. And manganese is involved in a lot of chemical processes in the body. It helps our blood pressure. It helps monitor blood sugar. There's apples in here because apple a day really does keep the doctor away. And I think that's really pretty much everything in here. There's some green onion. I just thought that would add a nice flavor profile. And there's cilantro in here, which I think adds a brightness to anything it's in. So I'm happy to serve it for you guys. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump in just for a minute. Renee, you're welcome to continue presenting.
Okay.
As she's serving, I do want to invite the judges to taste the recipe. You're also welcome to ask questions at this time. General audience, you're also welcome to ask questions.
How long did you marinate?
Well,
Or have it stood, I guess?
30 minutes is good. I'm not sure that it actually sat for 30 minutes this morning, but
Does it
close
have to
to.
be in the fridge?
Yes, yes, so yeah, you need to, keep it chilled. And of course, wash all your fruits and vegetables before you prepare them.
Have you made this with any of the families you work with?
I have not. I teach, I don't work with adults, I work with children. And I am able to get things from our food pantry. I don't have an opportunity to do a lot of food prep in the classroom. So that would be no.
Is jicama readily available for most of your?
Well, this jicama was purchased at the local food lion.
If you don't have jicama, what would you use something else?
Well, you could probably substitute celery or you could leave it out. I just think the jicama is, the texture is so interesting to me, and again, the nutrient value, that I'm happy to go looking for it. But, it's not, it may be harder to find than a potato or celery.
I did a food tasting with my first grades, and out of about 50 students, I had things as simple as carrots, jicama, cherry tomatoes, and what else did I have? I think like an orange pepper, and jicama was the favorite of all the first graders. Like that.
Have they had it before?
No.
Yeah.
But that was the one they liked the best.
Right. It has such an interesting texture, and it's not a strong taste, so like you could just fix a regular tossed salad and just slice up some jicama. And I think, but it's so white and firm that it would add to any kind of salad that you make. It would be a nice bonus, a nice ingredient.
I think this is a great example of people thinking salads are boring
Mhm.
and sort of one note. And you've got so much interest in here. The thing that pops out at me is every once in a while in a bite, you get one of those pepitas, and that just makes it so
I
different.
love pepitas.
Really nice.
But roasting them, I think, is really important.
So a side note on the jicama, to ask maybe for everybody, they make fantastic chips. It's a big kind of round, bulbous kind of a vegetable. But if you can either cut it in half and slice it, and you'll have base, not that, or whatever, for different healthy dips, yogurt dips and things, but also as to put toppings on. So if you wanted to make some sort of a salsa or tomato bruschetta type of topping, to put them on that instead of using bread, is a great.
If you don't eat
So these guys, are they allowed to taste anything? Like, how does that?
I
You know? Because has anybody not tasted jicama?
I've got some in the
If you
back.
have one,
Yeah.
have these guys taste it, because I agree, my concern would be more so people,
Yeah, right.
but if you're not familiar with it, definitely check it out. It's incredibly nutritious. It's tasty in its own way, but it is mild, but it's extremely versatile, as you mentioned, so.
And I would say that I spoke to Emily about that, but I didn't feel like, I didn't want that to preclude me
Right.
from doing this,
Right.
because I felt like, if you find it, and I have gone to Hispanic markets and found it, and so, like I said, I went
The
to,
markets usually have it too,
and I went to the food line near the hotel and found it.
so.
I agree, but I think it brings so much to the salad, I
Yeah,
didn't really
no, it
know.
definitely does. So, yeah, It seems like you have enough, so if anybody has it,
I just
they'll
think the
definitely
easy,
try
it's
it.
Hikama is recommended, substitute salary, if you can't find it, that's easy enough, but I agree that Hikama is.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
I've seen a lot of my Spanish families, they'll slice it like we would maybe like carrot sticks, you know? And they eat it a lot. They
Right.
really like it, so they probably could find it
Right.
more so easier maybe than on a
Mhm.
lot of the other.
Well, and again, say down to your point, the reason I wanted to incorporate this is because people don't know about it.
Right.
So they may, and it's spelled Jicama, so people may be asking for Jacama or something. And I mean, and I can understand, you know, how that one, so if you're going to the grocery store and you're asking for that, and they're going like, what are you, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like quinoa.
Exactly.
You gotta know what you're asking
Yeah.
for, not quinoa.
Quinoa, right, exactly, exactly.
And that's, even though the jicama is an unusual, for most people, an unusual vegetable, that salad is just really visually appealing.
Well, that's, what I wanted to make something that would, because you eat with your eyes.
Right.
So, and it has a lot of stuff in it, and I kept adding stuff, and I'm like, I probably should just back off. But it's so nutrient dense, and so I just kept adding things that would really help you for you.
And Bill,
Oh, good.
the five, you know,
The fiber,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, thank you, Renee. All right, this concludes session one. You're welcome to move on to your next session. We are on break for the next 20 minutes. Next session is up in 2:03. Judges will be talking in here. There's break food. Help yourself to the restrooms. There's 3 stalls upstairs, 1 around the corner. Thank you all. We will reconvene at 12:15 in this room.
That's after y'all.
Yeah.